The college football experience, Utah State Aggies 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, brought to you by our very own Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks, content, and contest, including our NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app to get last-minute tickets at the lowest price guaranteed. Use the promo code CFBX for $20 off. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the promo code DGEN. That's DEGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only on DraftKings with the promo code DGEN. Once again, that's DEGEN. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome. Welcome to the college football experience. Utah State Aggies 2023 season preview. Utah, I'll take two. Utah. Buddy, I mean, look, this is a great program over the years with the Utah State Aggies. They've been very good. Last year, a little disappointing, 6-7, but considering that the injuries they had, the off-season stuff that's happening, the year before, let's not forget Utah State won the Mountain West in 2021, and we're going to talk all about 2023, but perhaps you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
Nobody knows nothing. Somebody knows. Price, but no one touches Dundee.
Oh, yeah. Look, I love the Utah State Aggies, all right? They got, when it comes to college football and college basketball, they got great fans.
Yep.
Great fans, now, they can cross the line sometimes, but hey, I'm just saying they pack the fucking place and they support college sports, and I can respect that. I don't know. This is a big year, though. I am joined by the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast, which you need to be subscribed to, and you're going to hear him a lot of the college football experience this fall. They call him the man in the box. I give you one seat, Jay Sullivan. How you doing, brother?
Good, Dundee. And you're right, they get a little aggressive over there at Utah State, but they do it from a good place because they love their teams and they love Utah. The Utah gave me two. I like the subversions Utah schools, not your BYU's, the big ones, the smaller Utah schools, the underbellies, the counterculture, if you will.
Weber States, the
yes,
States.
Absolutely.
Thunderbirds of Southern Utah. And don't forget Dixie State, a.k.a. Utah Tech. Folks, subscribe to the FCS College Football Experience as well, because I host that as well. But man, Utah State says we don't deserve to be lumped in with them because we won the Mountain West 2 years ago. We've had some damn good seasons over the years. Where you at with this program and Blake Anderson, who is 17-10 in 2 years?
Yeah. Well, they're like you said, they're a good program. They surprised. They have a little history with them. They took a step back last year. A little regression, which is natural, and so they'll have to bounce back with that. Blake Anderson taking over the play calling this year, so we'll see what happens. I would never doubt Blake Anderson. It doesn't look great on paper, but I think that's what he likes.
Yeah, that's true. That is always hilarious. It's like Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy,
Mm-hmm.
the years that they're projected to be top 10,
Right.
they're like 7 and 6. And then
Exactly.
the years that you look and say, hey, they got nobody, that's when they're like 11 and 2.
Yeah. Right.
So
when you doubt them is when they like. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we got a little bit of that going on with Blake Anderson. No one had them winning the Mountain West 2 years ago. 6 and 7 season last year. Off the field stuff happened, and that was terrible. Then you have players, injured. I feel like they played 3 different quarterbacks last year, and to still make a bowl. They were a hard team to understand because, like, if you look at what exactly they did schedule wise. There's some blunders where you're just like, wait, how the hell did they lose that game? They're not that bad. And then they have performances where you're like, hey, that's not bad. They're pretty good. So obviously they lost by 55 to Alabama, but the crazier one was Weber State beat the shit out of them by 28. And even UNLV, who was not good last year, won by 10 against them.
I know.
It was just a kind of a crazy season. Like, you beat San Jose State, who's decent. Made a bowl. You beat Air Force, who almost went undefeated. It's just hard to understand who exactly they were. We're going to talk all about it, though. How they're going to be, what they're going to look like. Offense, defense, special teams. We're going to analyze the transfer portal because that's really – you want to talk about one where I feel like the transfer portal really might affect this win total. It might be this one here. And then also, we're going to go game by game on the Aggies schedule, trying to project 2023. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience Utah State Aggies season preview episode is brought to you by Game Time. Yes. Game Time. Talk about, you want buying tickets to your favorite events shouldn't be that stressful. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading the ads.
Yeah,
as they are getting deleted.
I know. I was just gonna notice that they're getting moved around.
Yeah, some of them are getting moved around as I'm reading them. So I'm like, wait a second, where am I at here?
I know. We're Ron Burgundying it, but now we're gonna have to trumpet. Let's just go. Let's just off the cuff, baby.
Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. All right, look, and we all know Maverick Stadium. Or their basketball stadium, which I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now. That place is rocking. Those places are rocking. So you don't want to be, sitting there hoping you're going to get in at the tailgate, doing a few Jaeger bombs, hoping that someone walks around with an extra ticket or something. No. So look, and you're going to be stressed out trying to get into Maverick Stadium. So don't do that. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater that is near you. And they have killer deals that are last second, all the way up until the kick. So you're going to want to be able to hop on over there. You can stop stressing over the tickets and start getting you hype for the fun that you'll be having at the event. Forget about planning months in advance, all right? Because that, sometimes you do that. You think this game's going to be great. Quarterback's injured. It's going to be a 30 point. Alabama's going to beat you by 55 points. Something like that, right? Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event, and that's the way to play it. I really believe that, all right? Get exclusive flash deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. CJ, you're doing some stand-up in the great state of Utah, right? How far are you?
Great state of Utah, Salt Lake City, wise guys. This weekend, come on out, and you can go to Game Time and fire up some tickets for that.
And what days are those?
That would be this weekend coming up. That would be Thursday the 24th, Friday the 25th, and 26th Saturday in all of August.
All right, folks. Yeah. Look, I'll make sure this episode's out so they can actually go. And let's go see CJ Sullivan in Salt Lake City.
If you love Utah State football, you'll love the comedy stylings of CJ Sullivan.
There we go. Get on over there. The man in the box. Okay. But yes, I snag the tickets without the stress, people. All right. Don't wait last second to see Sullivan. Get it now. All right. Get on over there. Get it now. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Use that code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, August is almost over, and you know what that means. Time is running out for you to draft your fantasy football team on Underdog Fantasy. So get championship ready for your home league by trying out Best Ball on Underdog Fantasy. All you do is have one live snake draft. No waivers, no trades. You set it, forget about it, and Underdog will handle the rest. Try it out with Underdog's Best Ball Mania tournament, too, the largest fantasy football contest of all time with $15 million in total prizes up for grabs, including an absurd $3 million going to the winner. Do you have what it takes to win it all? Do you? This time, look, the time is really now. This is fantasy season, folks. You got to get this in by September 7th. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com. You can find them in the App Store and sign up with the promo code SGPN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, we are back on the Aggies 2023 season preview and the transfer portal. We got to talk about here because, I mean, we're grading this for all these teams, but this is one where I think you really circle what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Departing from the Aggies, it's a lot of players, so buckle up. Cornerback Jet Solomon is in the portal. Quarterback Bishop Davenport heads out to South Alabama, where they won 10 or 11 games a season ago. A linebacker Maximus Fanoti McCoy, he's in the portal. Cornerback Johnny Carter goes to Baylor. That's a big loss, and that's going to be a common theme you're going to see here. Nai Davis at the wide receiver spot goes to ULM. Cornerback Dominic Tatum heads out to Washington State with the Cougars. Linebacker AJ Vaughn Pachacon goes to BYU. These are huge losses. Some of those are huge. Like a lot of key players, they're going to continue because offensive lineman Philip Peao is gone. Defensive tackle Aurorian Peoples gone. Defensive end Patrick Joyner is gone. He is now a Kansas Jayhawk. Linebacker Byron Vaughns goes out to the Baylor Bears. Defensive lineman Tavian Coleman, the Texas State. Offensive lineman Waylon Lapao to BYU. Defensive end Daniel Griesiak to the Cincinnati Bearcats. Athlete Sayon Mayaho gone. Wide receiver Xavier Williams, 4-star transfer. This guy was formerly in Alabama. He's in the portal. Safety Luke Marion, portal. Safety Sako Alofipo in the portal. Running back John Gentry heads out to Sam Houston State. Athlete Crew Wackley heads out to BYU. And tight end Ron Tiviasu is in the portal. The main ones I mentioned, I mean, the defense got robbed, dude. Like the defense was really good last year. I thought it was a better defense than a lot of people realize. Like considering the injuries they had to deal with, I thought the defense was solid. And I think the rest of the college football world was watching because when I see Baylor grab 2 guys, when I see BYU grab 2 guys, when I see Washington State grab a guy, Kansas grabs a guy, Cincinnati grabs a guy that's, I think, penciled in the start for them. They got destroyed in the portal, man. They tried to respond, but man, I don't know how bullish I can be when I see that many players leave. Now, incoming, they did get cornerback Malone Matalele from the Utah Utes and linebacker Gavin Barthiel from Washington State. Wide receiver Colby Bowman came in from the Stanford Cardinal. I do like this get right here. Safety Logan Peely from BYU. Cornerback Simeon Harris from the Colorado Buffaloes. Offensive tackle Ralph Frias from Arizona State. And wide receiver Grant Page from the Colorado Buffaloes. Dude, they got destroyed in the portal, man. Like they got gutted. This is one of the worst, I think, in college football for like you lost a lot of production.
Yeah, they got gutted. That's for sure. And the defense was good, a lot of talents there, but they also, I don't. It was just a weird year for them last year. They definitely regressed. They gave up a lot. They gave up. They gave the most points in the Mountain West, except for Hawaii. Hawaii doesn't count though. And it was like 31 points a game, which is like a 10 point difference.
Still like, I think, top 35 passing defense, right?
Right, for sure. Their secondary, and their secondary still is good, actually. But you're right. So there was a lot of talent, and obviously the rest of the country knew by plucking them off one by one. So it's going to be tough. I don't know, but like we said before, this is when this year when you count them out, they definitely lost the portal. Let's get past that.
Yeah,
but what can you do?
Well, the offense, Cooper Legas is back at the quarterback spot, and he flashed as a guy that came on their third string quarterback that, kind of an athlete, kind of a little Steve Young to him.
He's a dual threader.
Yeah. Look, scoring offense, though, was 130 a year ago. Rush offense, 61st. Pass offense, 106. Charting at the 95th best offense. That's not going to cut it for Blake Anderson. He's been a successful coach for a long time. Yeah. Normally, his offenses are better than that. This is a guy that had a lot of success at Arkansas State, and even in his first year at Utah State. The problem is this: they don't return a lot on offense. I see 4 guys that were starters in college football. Cooper Legas at the quarterback spot. You could argue he is a returning starter because he played. Yeah.
He came on towards the end of last year. He played a couple games. He had a good. He had a good.
Start, right? Yeah.
He had a good Jimmy Kimmel Los Angeles Bowl. That's for sure. He had a great game in that. That's something you could like parlay off of, going into the offseason on an upswing. But the offense, you're right about that. You got like I said, but Blake Anderson does always have good offenses, but he wasn't calling a play, so he's going to take over play calling this year. So maybe he's going to be more hands-on because he was embarrassed by that.
Yeah, and Cooper Legas also, they have Levi Williams, who used to start at Wyoming, so they actually have a little bit of quarterback depth if they do have some injuries again. The running back position is something it's kind of, they're going the JUCO route. Yeah. Robert Briggs comes in, and Davon Booth. I believe Booth was a JUCO, and they're replacing a guy in Calvin Tyler who was a stud for them. I don't know who's going to get the nod. I kind of think it's going to be Briggs, but maybe it's Booth, because Briggs is just 5'6", 175, but Booth is more of your 5'10", 205 or something like in that range. So you might get a little running back by committee. This is an uncertainty because they were very good at running back over the past couple of years. So
they traditionally always have a good back there.
Well, they only returned 1 starter on the offensive line, and Wade Meacham at the right guard spot. This is why I'm a little concerned here. Now, they do bring in the Arizona State kid who played 25 games, and he's in his 5th year of college football at the left tackle spot, Ralph Frias. Maybe that can work out. Now, their right tackle, Cole Motes, Cole Motes, did start 4 games a season ago, and so he's got some burn, but the tight end position seems to be a point of emphasis. Broc Lane, sophomore, played 9 games a season ago. Him and Josh Sturzer are back. Sturzer had 11 starts. The wide receiver position, kind of interesting. Terrell Vaughn returns. He had 624 yards receiving. He was 3rd team All Mountain West. He's a stud. They're going to be counting on him and Colby Bowman, the Stanford transfer, who got a start a year ago in the Pac-12, and then Jalen Royals, who had 1 start a season ago. Man, this is kind of a mystery offense to me. They weren't good last year, though, so I'm going to say they're going to be better this year than 95th. They're going to be better than 95th.
I think they'll be better. I think mainly because of Blake Anderson and Cooper Legas. Just that combination of, just going to be hands-on. They're going to will it. Also, a tackle. They like that guy was Talafia Tala. They brought him in. He was a big prospect, and that, like you said, Colby Brown from Stanford was a 4-star prospect as well.
So maybe they got something.
It's interesting. It's intrigue, like you said, but there's a lot of questions. Because who knows? They're relying on these guys they're bringing in, and there's no experience with it. So, but like you said, just through numbers alone, I think they'll improve a bit. But who knows? It's going to be tough. On paper, it doesn't look good.
The offense, I think, will be better. The question is will the defense? 104th in scoring defense, 112th in rush defense, 31st in pass defense, 82nd best defense in America. They do return 5 starters that played with them a year ago. But let's talk about this. The defensive line, you get both your defensive tackles back, including Hale Motuapakuku.
Yes, all of those were correct.
Yes, second team All Mountain West a season ago. Him and Pukesi Vakuta. This is tough.
I'm not helping you out. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm letting you hang out to dry on that.
On Sione at their whole defensive line, Inoka Megau.
Right.
Now they do have John Ward. Thank God for a name like John Ward on this preview.
Hey, John, going for who?
I'm just gonna highlight that guy. The defense has got John Ward.
Yeah,
right?
It all focuses on John Ward. How John Ward goes, the rest of them all falls out. But like you said, they were. I mean, yeah. Now I see why they gave up 194 yards on the ground per game because it took forever to call out their adjustments. The names were 20 syllables long.
Oh man, but dude, I actually think the defensive tackle position is like a strength of theirs.
Yeah, so they should help out. At least they're the ones coming back, so maybe they should improve.
The linebacking core, though,
yeah,
the MJ Tafasi'i from Washington. That might be a sneaky good get there. He's played 22 games in his career. Him, Max Alford at the other linebacker spot, and then Anthony Switzer, no relation to Barry, but he was at Arkansas State for 3 years. So Blake probably knew. He probably recruited him and had him a little bit there. Linebacking core is a bit of a question mark, though. And then Peely that they brought in from BYU, and Barthiel from Washington State. So they kind of it's going to be interesting to see who's starting for them in the linebacking core. The secondary returns 2 of 4. Michael Anyawahu is their cornerback, and then Jalen Martin.
There you go.
Good old Jalen Martin coming in from East LA College. Shout out.
Finally, a non-Samoan we got there. Utah does have a history of going to Hawaii and recruiting there and plucking the guys that fell through the cracks, and they get themselves a team. Those guys are ballers, and they do have a good secondary. They do.
Ike Larson is the
starter. A lot of that's because people just love running on them, though.
That's true. Ike Larson was a stud of theirs, but you're right. A lot of it is because of the run. So the defense, though. They have a new DC. It's Joe Cawthron. And he was at Stephen F. Austin last season with the Lumberjacks. He was also with the Buffalo Bulls in 21. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say the defense will be slightly improved. You?
Another angle of there's no other way to go. But they do have a history. You know what I mean? That was a huge regression last year as far as points per game and things like that. They took a step back, which was natural, but 10 points is a lot. So I think it should tilt the other way, and they should improve a little bit for how bad they were. Like we said, last year was just a weird year that kind of got away from them.
Yeah, kicker William Testa
is
penciled in to be the starter. They also have a kid that Elliot Nimrod. It was at Arkansas. Punter Steven Katsanli. Mm-hmm. He's not Polynesian, but he started 14 games a season ago. So the punter is back. I think this team is probably going to be a little bit better than we think.
Okay. I think it's like I said, it's a rallying season for them. It doesn't look good. They're counted out, and that's when they're kind of scary.
Yeah. So let's get to talking about these ball games. But before we do that, I want to tell you folks out there that the college football experience, Utah State Aggies season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings. Yeah, you've waited all year long, and the time has finally arrived. College football is back, and so are the traditions. So are the tailgates, and so are the great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. I told you, I like Jacksonville State week 0. Get on over there. Jump in on that. All right. Kick off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now. Use the promo code DGEN. That's DEGEN. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any college football bet. Only at the DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code DGEN. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net in partnership with Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races. All games regulated by West Virginia Lottery. Please play responsibly. In Connecticut, help is available. Problem with gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 or older in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposits restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes, make sure you check out the Patreon. Sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL Win Totals contest with a $1,000 first place prize. And the guys just recorded their first Sports Gambling Podcast Stories podcast just for the patrons, chronicling the birth of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Get on over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. All right, we are back. And if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience, remember, first off, that I also host the College Basketball Experience. I understand Ryan Odom gone, but don't worry. Utah State's basketball program has been fire. When the season tips, I'll be there each and every single night of the season. I also host the FCS College Football Experience and this very show, the College Football Experience. We also have the Big 12 Experience for any BYU and Utah fans out there. And the College Baseball Experience. Those are all separate podcast feeds. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/The College Experience. And you're rocking with Pick Dundee. And I'm here with CJ Sullivan, the host of the Bottom Line Bombs podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the sweet graphic. The win total sitting at 5.
Okay.
First reaction, CJ Sullivan?
It seems right on the nose, 5 around there. Ambitious can get us over. And if plays out the way it looks like it could play out, it can go under. So go either way.
Yeah, I thought, my first thought is leaning over because I feel like they've been a better program for the past 10, 15 years than just 5 wins. But let's dive into it.
Yeah, even with a bad year last year, they still pulled out 6 wins. They went 6 and 7,
Yeah. So week 1, now this one's going to be a little interesting because there's 2 angles here.
Okay.
I'm really bullish on Iowa because of what they were able to accomplish in the transfer portal. Bring in Eric All.
All right.
To go with Lachey, the other tight end, and then Cade McNamara is so much better than Spencer Petras to me that I think that Iowa just really knocked it out the park in the portal. They also brought in an Ohio State wideout. They also have a gambling a probe going on where players might be suspended for week 1. So now, unfortunately, those transfers won't because they're not part of that, but it makes this game a little more interesting than it would have been.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Iowa and Iowa State. I mean, I think they're just the only ones that report it because it's a state full of teachers and principals who just checking every book and they correct because this has to be going on everywhere else.
Oh, shout out to who one of the players' mothers was the one placing the bets.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what they try to do. They do the
I love that
quarterback. I was a quarterback. Yeah,
like this Wanda woman.
She's a Jen. She's doing player props, teasers. She can't help herself.
Oh man, I'll still take Iowa because that stadium that's hard to win at Kinnick. One of the hardest places.
At Iowa, you got the Children's Hospital there. They got their parlay cards they put on the windows in the fourth quarter. I guess But yeah, I will get that home win. It'll be a nice 13-12 game.
Yeah, get that. I'll take that points. Utah State's getting 23.5. I saw that.
Really? I'll take Utah State. I'll give me the candy with Utah State. Yeah. I know Ferentz' kid has got to earn his pay with points and all that, but I mean, come on.
Yeah. Week 2, the Idaho State Bengals come to town. They just hired Dan Hawkins' former offensive coordinator and current son of his, Cody Hawkins, former Colorado Buffalo quarterback as well. It's going to be a little bit of a project for the Bengals. I think Utah State bounces back in a big way as they take down the Bengals of Idaho State. What are you doing there?
Yeah, we'll take that dub there. Let's start it off 1-1. Let's get the season going.
All right. Then they head to Colorado Springs on a Friday to take on the Air Force Falcons. Now, these games, folks, if you haven't caught these games the past 2 years, they've been fucking insane. I want to say Air Force was up like 17 points. Thank you. 17 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Stacking the money grain. And they blew it. They blew it. Last time in Colorado Springs, Utah State battled back, won 49-45. Last year was a 7-point game that was bonkers too. Air Force got to deal with those rule changes. I think this is a winnable, and they lost Brad Roberts, a.k.a. John Riggins 2.0, and Hazik Daniels. But I think it's a winnable game, man.
It's definitely a winnable game, and it's an intense game. I think Air Force is out for revenge this year, though, at home. Last time, like you said, like you just painted those last two, so I think they get the job done. I think they might have this game actually circled on it, especially this early in the season. You know, I think I think this is set up for an Air Force win.
I'll say this. Between Air Force and JMU making that far-ass trip. No, JMU's offensive line. I hope you guys were subscribed last year to the College Football Experience when we broke them down because they were coming into the FBS and a lot of people thought they'd be bad. No, we knew that offensive line was nasty. And they have one of the best offensive line, I think, in the whole group of five.
Right.
They're going to get either Air Force or JMU. I refuse to believe they go winless there. I think they get a second win there. So.
I got them beating James Madison afterwards, but losing to Air Force. So I'm with you with the split. I think that's how it's going to happen.
Okay, and then on September 30th, they go to Stores to take on Jim Mora, our friend Jim Mora, and the Connecticut Huskies.
Yeah,
I got them losing this actually.
Yeah, I like what's brewing in Stores.
Yeah,
I like I like what UConn's got going. He's taking on the Skip Holtz legacy, and he's
yes.
You know?
So they'd be 2-3 in the month of September.
Okay.
Now it gets interesting because Colorado State with Jay Norvell, who I think going to be a lot better this year. That's an interesting game October 7th as they come to Maverick Stadium to take on the Aggies. I'll be honest, I lean Colorado State, but I think it's a field goal game, man.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is one they're going to have to get if you want the season to be anything. And I think you know what? I mean,
I'll say they get it.
I want to give it to them. I'm kind of hopeful. Cooper Legas and Anderson, this little combination. I think this is going to be a crisper offense. I mean, I think that you know will confuse these little teams like Colorado State. So I'm going to take this win.
So that would put them at win 3. Then they host Fresno State. I don't have them winning this game.
No, not Fresno State. No.
And then they head to San Jose to take on the Spartans. This was a game that San Jose State, I feel like when I interviewed Brent Brennan, they thought they should have won a year ago.
Right.
I think revenge is on the mind. I think they lose in San Jose against Sparty. So, man, I do have them going into the bye with what? 5 losses, is it? 3-5?
We have them at 3-4, 3-5. We have them at 3-5 going into the bye.
Out of the bye, they are at San Diego State. This is a winnable game to me because San Diego State is moving to the air raid. I think this game is interesting. I think this
two similar teams on similar paths. Actually, I believe this. You know, switching it up and trying to bounce back from what they were.
And this is a critical game if you're betting the over.
It's
a very critical game.
A lot of things happening.
Yeah.
Tell you what, coming out of the bye, I like it. Give me them Aggies.
Okay, that's win 4.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're home to Ken Wilson, the Nevada Wolfpack. I think that's win 5.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And then they're home to Boise State, and Boise State notoriously beats the shit out of Utah State. So I cannot take Utah State to win this one at Maverick Stadium. But at least you get them at home. Maybe
you get them at home. Boise routed them last year, 42-23. But that was like we said, towards the end of last year, things were just getting away from everyone. But also, I think this will be a tighter game. obviously, but Boise State gets the win.
And now they head to Albuquerque to end the season. They've won 6 straight against New Mexico.
Mm-hmm. Beat them 27-10 last year. I think
I think they can get it.
I think they can get it to try to get bowl eligible.
Slightly into the over here. I think they're 5-7 or 6-6.
Yeah, I think I have them at 6. I have them at 6 wins. But I can definitely see the 5 wins for sure.
The Colorado State and the San Diego State games are the big question mark games to me. Even the Air Force one too.
Yeah.
If they can get one of those, actually no, they're going to need to get 2. They're going to need to get 2, I think. Then go 2 and 3 in that stretch. I don't know. I think Blake Anderson, though, he's got a great track record of winning games.
Yeah, I believe in Blake Anderson. And if you don't, once you doubt him is when you got to fear him the most. I'm not rushing to the window to play this one, but if I had to play it, I'm playing over. Let's go.
Yeah, I will take the over, but I am not rushing. This will not be bet by Dundee. I'll tell you that right now, folks. Look, we're both on the over, and I got a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour, to talk about his experiences to Logan, to Maverick Stadium. So with no further ado, here is that interview. Joining me on the College Football Experience, Utah State Aggies 2023 season preview is none other than Michael Barker, a.k.a. College Football Campus Tour on Twitter. Michael has been to every single college football stadium in the FBS, all 133. He's been to a lot of the FCS, a lot of the D2 and D3, and he documents all of his travels, which is insane because it's not just going to one game here and there. He goes to like 5, 6, 7 a week, and he documents all of his travel. It's fantastic. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show to talk a little Utah State football and Maverick Stadium, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Colby. This is a sneaky good one that not everybody recognizes, but Logan is a beautiful city, and Maverick Stadium is a great place to catch a football game.
I am Google imaging this currently, and holy shit, I didn't realize it was this beautiful. I mean, the Rocky Mountains stadiums are always beautiful, but man, this really looks cool, man. Tell me about the history of this place.
So it was built in 1968, and it was originally named Romney Stadium, and they've actually been playing on the same site since 1927. There was Romney Stadium number 1, Romney Stadium number 2, and then in 2015, it got renamed Maverick Stadium, which is after a chain of convenience stores in Utah. I love Maverick. I make a point to stop there when I'm on the road. I don't necessarily need my college football stadium named after it, but we have stadiums in this category a lot. So, but as far as the stadium look at its height, it had over 30,000 seats, but there were some major renovations done between 2012 and 2016. They put up this gorgeous West Side Stadium Center. The press box is this modern, sleek, silver, and it has this great look either in the day or at night. It lights up well. And then you get these views, like you mentioned on Google Images, from the home side bleachers, and you look over the roadside, you have mountains, and they're often snow-capped for late November, October games. And then if you're on the roadside, you can see into the whole valley, and it's just picturesque and one of those that people should definitely try to make a point to go see. And as I said, I think it's a little bit underrated.
Yeah, and look, I get it. They say Merlin Olsen Field at Maverick Stadium, but Maverick at least sounds cool. I know it's after, like, it's not like when you hear like some of the other ones. At least Maverick sounds cool. I think of the movies, the classic movies Maverick, and just it sounds a little bit cooler. So even though it is related to a store there, I think it sounds pretty cool. I think I'm gonna give it a pass on that. How many times you been there, man?
Yeah, and it's like the Great Western Forum in LA. It just sounded cool for that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I get it. Sometimes you can make a good match and get money. So I've only been there. I just was there 2 weeks ago for a stadium visit, which was great because, walking around an empty stadium, the mind works and you can get photos from any version. But the only game I've seen there was in 2020. It was a severely reduced COVID crowd. It was a Friday night, cold game, but it was enjoyable to be able to go and experience that. I have them on my schedule for, I think it's October 13th. It's another Friday night game, a big Mountain West matchup versus Fresno State. I have a very ambitious schedule because they dropped a Thursday night FCS game at St. Francis, which is in Pennsylvania. My plan was to go Thursday night Houston, Friday night Utah State, and then Saturday back to Ivy League schools. Now what I'm looking at doing is going to Thursday night St. Francis in Pennsylvania, flying cross country to Salt Lake City, driving up to Logan, seeing that, and then trying to zoom back and catch an 11:58 flight at night to Red Eye to make it back to Providence to be able to catch a 12:30 Brown game and a 4 o'clock Bryant game. So I want to see it, and those are the kind of sacrifices that I'm willing to make to get a non-COVID game at Maverick Stadium.
People, did you just hear what he said? This is why I am friends with this guy, because that is unbelievable right there. He's like, okay, I'm going to this now. St. Francis do it Thursday. Okay, I'll go to Pennsylvania. Then I'll hop over to Logan, Utah. Then I'm jumping back, going to Rhode Island. I'm going to catch 2 games on Rhode Island. Boom. I don't even need to sell it anymore. That is unbelievable. And Michael, you do unbelievable work, man. And folks, he does the photo of the game, takes a lot of photos with the statues around the stadiums, also does talks about the history of the stadiums. It is a must follow. And that travel schedule's already just got my brain just thinking, well, holy shit. Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show, man, and maybe one day I'll catch you at Maverick Stadium. So thanks again, man.
Absolutely. And if you're there, any Utah State fan that wants to help zoom me down the highway to the airport to make that red eye, I would love it. So, but thank you for having me, and it's great to talk about such a cool stadium like Maverick.
Anytime, man, and I look forward to seeing your travels all through this college football season, as always, man.
Absolutely. Thank you, Colby.
Anytime. Michael Barker. And look, I mean, Maverick Stadium does look fucking beautiful. And you hear that?
It does.
He's going to fucking St. Francis, Pennsylvania the day before. That guy.
He's a madman.
Dude, we need a documentary crew going around there following him because that's insane.
Shit. How's he not sponsored? Is he Couser? What's going on here?
Someone break out an iPhone and follow the fucking
right.
Game, right? Look, folks, we're both on the over. Bowling. Bowling, baby. Let's go, Blake Anderson. I like Blake Anderson. When I sat down
I did too.
At Mountain West Media Day, he was a hell of a nice guy, and I think Utah State fans should be happy that he's coaching there. So look forward to seeing them this season. Give me the over 6-6, maybe even 7-5. I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him, folks. Get on over to Twitter and give or X, whatever they're calling it now, and give CJ Sullivan a follow at CJ Sullivan _. And you want to check out his podcast, The Bottom Line Bombs. He's going to be a big part of the college football experience when the season kicks, which is right around the corner, folks. So check him out. Give him a follow. Bottom Line Bombs podcast. Absolutely fantastic. Also, give us a follow at TCE on SGPN. And I'm personally on Twitter at the Colby D. And folks, make sure you subscribe to wherever these podcasts are found, Spotify, iTunes, whatever you get over there. Give us a 5-star review. All right. And remember, I host a college basketball experience, college baseball experience, FCS college football experience, the college football experience, and we have the Big 12 experience now. All separate podcasts coming together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. NFL fans, check out the Sports Gambling Podcast as they break down all 32 NFL teams. Deep diving on every single team in the National Football League. So check out all that. Get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store. And also, come talk Utah State ball with us in the Discord. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Discord. Until next time, folks, this is the college football experience. Utah State Aggie style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.